Hello, this is Gavin Phillips with Photographer's Photoshop, and what I'm showing you today are your 10 sets of Photoshop actions and other creative software, as well as 3 sets of Lightroom presets bundle. Everything that's been developed for you since 2002, and all of the software went through a complete redevelopment in the past 2 years, so you're getting all current software. You receive software that's very easy to use. The actions, of course, click a button, it runs through 30-40 steps in Photoshop for you automatically. A great time saver, a great money maker, and also what you're going to notice is with a lot of these effects and software is it's very unique and very different from all of the Photoshop plugins that you see at all the trade shows that have been around for years. You're going to see something very different here, and that's also crucially important for showing your clients something different that they're not going to see from anywhere else, and that gives you a big creative edge in your market. So let's take a look at your 10 sets of Photoshop creative software, starting with your Vivid Colors and Vignettes set of 40 creative Photoshop actions, a lot of different color effects using all of the layer blending modes in Photoshop. And with your vignettes, you've got complete control over exactly where the vignette goes inside your image, the feathering, the coloring, whether you want a dark vignette or a white vignette or even soft focus. With all of the actions you receive, all of the layers will always be left intact, so you can make any kind of changes or edits to the effect before printing. With your Creativity photo brushes, you receive 70 custom brushes using the history brush in combination with the custom styles that are also included in this set. It loads the photo into the brush and you just drag across a background or a texture, and it literally takes a few seconds and creates these beveled and embossed edges with this cool drop shadow effect, something very different to show your clients. And in this set you receive a few short movie tutorials showing you exactly how to load everything, how everything works together. It's very simple, and like I said, something very different to show your clients. With your Ultimate Frames and Mats set of 35 actions, you literally just press a button and you have dozens of different options for framing and or matting your images. Once the action has finished, you can swap out different frames by literally just clicking on the different styles for the frames. Very easy and intuitive to use. Please see the web page for many more examples of the frames and matting options that are available for you with this set. So let's take a look at the next 3 set of software here. Now, if you're a black and white connoisseur, you're in the right place with the Ultimate Black and White and Unique Tones set of 40 creative Photoshop actions. A lot of time was put into really investigating all of the different toning options using different layer blending modes, different opacities in Photoshop to give you an enormous variety of different black and white toning effects that you can access by simply clicking a button. And of course, like I said, everything is available for further editing in the layers palette. Let's scroll down a little bit. With your bird and flourish brushes and backgrounds, you receive over 50 bird brushes. That includes flocks of birds, all different kind of bird brushes that you can use to dress up your backgrounds and textures for your photo books and different layouts. And there's so many different ways to go. You literally just click inside the layout there to put the different birds in there, and please see the web page for many different examples of how to use these birds, flourishes and flowers in combination with your backgrounds. Your stylish effects set of 30 custom actions create a number of very different effects from your photos. For instance, these sketch effects, black and white or color, this curl photo effect where we ran one of the sketch effects first and then put the curl effect on there. But they also work for certain wedding shots as well, so you've got a lot of variety there. Let's turn on the next 3 here. Now, with your vintage color texture actions, you're going to notice something very different than regular texture effects with your images. The old way of doing it was opening up a texture with your image, dragging and dropping it onto the image in different layers and experimenting with it, and it was quite time consuming. What we've done with this set for you is we changed all the textures into patterns so that the process can be completely automated inside the action. You literally click the button, all of the textures are automatically added for you. All of the layers are intact, so you can turn on and off textures if you want to. All of them have a layer mask with them, so you can paint some of the texture off if there's a bit too much on there, but it's a lot faster than doing it the old way. With your Paint Like Monet software, you will be able to create authentic hand-painted portraits using only Photoshop and the custom brushes and techniques provided for you in the short movie tutorials. This is a very simple technique to pick up and use, a very short learning curve, and you can create one of these painted portraits in about 15 minutes. A lot of photographers are asking us for something like this that they could do in Photoshop. You don't have to use any other standalone painting programs, and it doesn't have anywhere near the learning curve. You literally just pick up a brush, start brushing through the image, and then bring in the detail. It's very simple to use. With your Rodeo Drive set of software, this is a combination, a set of 20 actions that create all different kinds of effects by clicking a button, and then there's a couple of other effects where we show you how to create them. For instance, this matrix effect. We show you how to quickly create this in Photoshop. You can do this in less than 10 minutes, and it enables you to show your clients something very different that you can't do with an action. Let's turn that layer off, and your final set of Photoshop software is the 3D Photo FX, and you've probably seen this done before, but we're showing you different ways of how to do it, where you bring in the 3D part into a different image. We're showing you the fast way to do this. You can create this effect in about 10 minutes once you see the techniques involved, just isolating the person, whatever's coming out of the image. Once again, this is a pretty cool effect to show your clients, great for youth sports, car enthusiasts, and even for some wedding shots. It works very well. So let's take a look at your 3 sets of Lightroom presets: Nashville, Panache, and In Vogue. There are 50 presets in the In Vogue and Nashville set, and there's 70 presets in the Panache set, so you receive 170 presets in total. You also receive dual workflows for each set of presets, so you're completely covered whether you work in JPEG or in RAW. Now, these effects are in the Panache set, and we're always looking for new innovative ways to give you different effects with this beveled inner frame here that you can apply to any of the effects. This is City Slicker 2. Let's open up the Panache set, and as we scroll down here, as you're probably very familiar with Lightroom, you literally just have to scroll over a preset and you'll be able to see it in the Navigator panel. And as you can see here, literally is that fast, even faster than an action. And what's nice here is I can go up to the film strip effect if I want to apply that as a stackable effect. So I can click on that and it will apply it on top of the City Slicker effect. If we remove that, then we take a look at some of these frames. You can also apply those on top of other effects as well. And of course, everything is editable for you in the right hand panel here. You can make any kind of changes to any of the effects, and then if you wanted to, you could save those as a new preset. So you've got a lot of ways to go there. And as I mentioned, you're completely covered whether you're using Lightroom 2 and 3 or Lightroom 4. And in every single one of them, you have dual workflows for JPEG and RAW, depending on how you work. So you're completely covered with all the different workflows for Lightroom. So let's return to Photoshop and take a look and see how the actions work. We just put together some of the actions from the many different sets that you'll be receiving. This vintage is from the vintage color texture actions. And just going to select the action, press the play button. The first thing it does is duplicate the image, never work on an original image, and then run through all of those steps automatically for you. And like I said, what you'll see here is something very different than the way you would normally add textures to an image in Photoshop. You'd have to open up the texture, drag and drop it in, and here it's all done for you automatically. In the layers palette, we've got all the textures there, and what I can do now is very simply just click on the layer mask and remove any part of the texture from any part of the image that I don't want it. So a lot of times just remove a lot of the texture from the people in here. You just go to the next one, and I normally have the opacity set at about 70%, And if you're unfamiliar with any of these techniques, they're all completely covered in the short movie tutorials that are included in the sets. So you won't have anything to worry about there. And you see it just takes a few seconds just to remove the part of the texture from the image that I don't want it on, and here I might leave this one on, or alternatively you can just turn these textures off and see if you prefer it without that particular texture. So you've got complete control. Once you have it exactly the way that you want it, you can flatten your image. We could go back to our actions, run one of your custom framing actions on the textured image, and it only takes a few seconds, and then we can also on the fly go back to the layers here, take a look in there. You've got an inset area here which you can see there what the difference that is making. You can turn it on and off, or you can apply a different style, but this is the main framing area here, and all of these custom styles are included for you. So I can literally click through these and in a few seconds see if I prefer a different frame around this image. You've got so many different ways to go, and we've also got included in that set, which you're going to receive, if you want the frame flush against the image, you can do that as well. So you've got complete control there. And like I mentioned, if we go back to the layers here, you can apply different styles to this inset or turn it off, depending on how you want your image to be displayed. Let's return to the actions and bring up a different image, run a different action. We'll minimize those and run the Sketcher black and white color. And the action is finished. If we go to the history palette, a lot of times you will find different snapshots of different versions of that effect that you can just click through, see which one you prefer. So I think you can see the enormous variety of the different kinds of effects that you can create very quickly, either by clicking a button or very fast techniques that only take a few minutes. And if you're unfamiliar with any of the techniques you saw here, it's all covered in the little 3-4 minute movies that we include to show you how to do that, and also to give you other ideas about how to use the actions that you may not have thought about. And I think you can see there's a lot of unique and different effects here that you won't see anywhere else. Please see the webpage for many more examples of the effects that you receive, and also there are individual demonstration movies for each set if you want to go into more detail about the effects that each set offers. You can call us or email us at any time. My name is Gavin Phillips, gavin@photoeffects.biz. Thank you.